Jesus has chosen me. He loves me. He has a great plan. And He will help me to get where I want to be. He will help me accomplish my dream. My dream is not broken. My dream is not shattered. Because Jesus is with me. Because Jesus has called me. Because Jesus has chosen me. Colossians chapter 1 says, the fullness of God is inside of Jesus. So when you want God, when you have access, when you need access to God, when you need blessings from God, you come to Jesus, and that is how you get it. Second, I'm just repeating it so that I don't forget. All the mysteries have been now revealed to you, but they were not revealed to before. But now those mysteries of His treasure, of His riches are revealed to you. Who's you? Say me. It's revealed to us, okay? The mystery of His riches. Now the mystery, like if a businessman wants to start business and he does not know how to start a profitable business or how to make it profitable, it's a mystery for him, okay? But now the mystery is resolved and the mystery is revealed to you. So if you want to get blessed, if you want to get healing, the mystery has already been released to you. Christ in me is the hope of glory. What is glory? Glory is God's, what is splendor? God's perfect beauty, God's perfection. Can you even imagine how God's perfection is? How can it be? Like when we say something is nice, we say it's perfect, right? And we like it. But imagine God's perfection. How will it be? Like if you see a rainbow, you see babies, you wonder how are they so cute? And we all like playing with babies, right? And they're so innocent and so naive and so cute. At God's perfection, you look at the rainbow. Every year, I told you, I wait for the rainbow. And when I see the rainbow, I'm like, how beautiful is this? So many colors. And that is God's perfection. Now, God's glory is... you have to get this. It's a little deep, but you have to get it. God's glory is His physical beauty and perfection He wants to see you. Like when you see a miracle, that's God's glory. It is God in physical form. You understand? Yes. Are you able to get it? I'm not able to literally explain like how teachers explain, but you have to understand it in your spirit. When you see a miracle, when God does great things, that is God's presence in the physical form. He's shown it to you. Understand? Joseph had a dream, and that dream was like his ship was higher than his brothers. Okay?
His what?
The sheaf. What's a sheaf? Explain. The wheat.
The strand of the wheat.
Yes. So that was, everybody else had... like you can say it's a shoot, okay, of a plant or something. Everybody else's was lower, only Joseph's was higher. So Joseph comes and tells his father and his brothers, this is the dream that I had. And his brothers get annoyed and get irritated at him. Then again, Joseph has a dream. And Joseph dreams that sun, moon and stars, 11 stars are bowing before him. And somehow, those days in the Old Testament, they would understand in dreams. Probably God would speak in dreams. And Joseph comes and shares his dream again to his father Jacob and his brothers. And his brothers get so what? Jealous. They get jealous that Joseph has such a big dream, and they can sense that God is going to do a great thing in Joseph's life. And his father shouts at him. They get jealous and they get irritated. You think we will bow down before you? And his father shouts at him, but only in front of them. I don't know, somehow I just like this Bible verse that his father shouts at Joseph in front of his brothers only superficially, but the Bible says the father keeps it in mind, right? Because the father loves him very much. And you know, fathers are like that. Like if I shout at Sean, he will not keep quiet. He will just say, okay, whatever Sean is asking for, give it, because of his love, right? So the father is kind of, it seems to me that he's impressed that God was going to do something great for Joseph. But the brothers get so jealous of him that when he goes out, when the father sends them out for work, let me use shortcuts, they try to kill him. Jealousy overpowers them and they try to kill him. But one brother says, how can we kill him? Those Ishmaelites are coming and they have spices and they have perfume. We can sell him. Instead of killing him, we can sell him. And they stoop down to that level. They sell him and they put his coat, which his father had made for him, and they were jealous of that coat also, probably because his father had given him a special coat. And they take it and they dip it in the animal's blood and say, your son is dead. And they tell the father that Joseph is dead. Yes. Now, what makes them stoop down to such a level of doing this to Joseph?
Jealousy.
Jealousy, ma'am.
Jealousy.
Yes.
It is. So where is jealousy coming from? Who is the source of jealousy? The devil.
That's it.
Okay. Now, why only Joseph? Moving forward, they sell him. One is, it starts.
God is blessing him more also. Satan,
Ma'am,
Yes.
because God has a great plan for him.
Plan for him. So, and he's,
God is favoring.
while he is very young, he is attacked. Where? At home. Okay. And this is what my point is. In Joseph's case, at home, while he's young, he's attacked because the evil one knows God has a plan for him. Okay? The attack is while he's young. We will come here. 2, Joseph is sold to those people, Ishmaelites, and Joseph is a victim of his circumstances. Victim of circumstances. His circumstances, okay? Because he can't help it. He can't do anything. He's still a young boy. And he is made a victim of his circumstances. He cannot say anything to his brothers who are selling him. Neither can he say anything to those who have bought him. And he moves on. 3rd, they sell him to Potiphar. And Potiphar likes him, makes him in charge of everything. And his wife brings in temptation. Now the temptation, those brothers try to kill him, then he is a victim of his circumstances, then the temptation almost kills him because his wife asks him to do all nonsense. You know it. You know the Bible. Everybody here knows the Bible.
Yes.
But when he refuses, he has to walk so faithfully. Can you imagine the patience that Joseph would have had to go through that? Right from home, opposition, attack, and then there is temptation, and there he says no to Potiphar's wife and he's put in prison. So he's lost another opportunity. In the jail, he meets some friends, the baker and the cupbearer. Do you remember? Everyone remembers. He prays for them and he prophesies over them. He interprets their dreams, and then he tells them, when you are out of here, please remember me. Do they remember him?
Yes,
No, ma'am.
they,
No,
Later
they-
they remember.
They do not remember. Wait, listen to this. They don't remember him. Even though he's done a lot for them and they've been together, they've been his friends, they do not remember him. So what? Unfaithful friends, okay? Unfaithfulness. Unfaithfulness. Then finally, who makes an opportunity for Joseph to come out?
The king, ma'am. Because he has a dream that needs to be interpreted. So the cupbearer then remembers.
The king does it, but the king does not even know Joseph.
Correct.
God knows Joseph. The dream was given by God, and now God has seen him how much the evil one has attacked him through different people. Finally, God remembers. God makes that king remember him, because otherwise they do not have anyone. And then the cupbearer says, I remember my sin, because I was supposed to talk to you about this young man who interprets dream, but I forgot about him. And now God creates that opportunity for Joseph by the king longing for some interpreter of dreams, and Joseph is brought out. Okay, so who remembers him is God. Then Joseph comes out of there, and the king likes him, and the king gives him a big opportunity to take care of everything in Egypt. And Joseph interprets another dream for the king, and he says there will be a famine, and in time of famine, Joseph makes all the arrangements. He uses his wisdom, and he does an excellent work of saving the whatever the provision for during the famine, and he blesses that land of Egypt, and he also blesses his brothers who come, those who tried to kill him, those who sold him come back, and God remembers. Okay, and it is time for Joseph to forgive his brothers. Everyone can see?
Yes, ma'am.
Forgiveness time for Joseph. You like the story of Joseph?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll tell you a similar, I don't know about you, but I find it similar, the story of Jesus in the New Testament. We don't read that passage very often about Jesus, but when Jesus is healing and he goes to somebody's house and there is a crowd, his family comes to see him.
Yes.
And his family says, when they see all this happening, they say, he's gone out of his mind. It's a very uncommon passage. The family, you know that Jesus had a family on earth, right? That family comes to see him, and he's doing all this healing and he's doing all this work for God, and yet the family blames him and says he's out of his mind. So I find a comparison here. While he's young, there is an attack. Okay. Now, when he comes, he is criticized. They call him devil. They call him Beelzebub. They say he's doing all this through the devil, and they criticize him. They go through all that, and I feel he was a victim of his circumstances, because he did not have he was sent for a purpose. He came for a purpose, and he had to accomplish the purpose. And the Bible says he came for his own, but his own rejected him. And so there they were rejecting him, calling him names. You get it?
Yes, ma'am.
So he's a victim of his circumstances. And then the devil tempts him, saying what?
I will give you this if you do this.
Yes, tempting him. And he says, everything that you see from here belongs to me. I will give it to you if you will just bow down to me. Temptation. He goes through the temptation. And Peter, Judas,
Yes, ma'am.
Thomas said, no, I don't want to believe. Peter says, I do not know him. And Judas totally goes to betray him. So unfaithfulness from his own friends, from his own disciples that he trained. And then he, on the cross of Calvary, he says, Father, because he's beaten, he's criticized, he's spat on, and he says, Father, forgive them, they do not know what they're doing. So do you see a comparison between two stories? Okay. Now tell me which one. I have written 6 points. Which one do you relate to? Are you attacked while you were young? I'll tell you, like I was going to tell you, I was attacked when I was 2 years old. It could be, the attack could be, there is sickness in the family, or you are sick, you fall sick, like in my case, like in Shamira's case. Or if there is poverty in the house, somehow poverty attacks you. Or there is separation from your parents. and all of these things, or you go through losses, your family goes through losses, so you are so young and your mind is still innocent and you don't know what is going on. Neither does your family know what is going on. But you see now that it is the attack of the evil one, because God has a great plan for you, and the devil knows that there is a great plan for you, and his attempt is to all the time fight you while you are still young. How many relate to it? 2, you are a victim of your circumstances because you are chosen by God, you are moving through it, but you cannot help it. Things are happening with you. Temptation. We all get into something that you just want to, and temptation can be, I don't know how many of you have become victim of circumstances where you were not in control. You could not control the situation, but the situation controlled you. How many of you relate to that? I'm not even opening my eyes to see. Then there is temptation. The temptation, it could be temptation like Jesus, where you feel, why am I serving Jesus? Why am I calling out to him? When those who are doing so much evil are still better off than me. Why am I even calling out to him? Or it could be, you are so tempted with such big offers, yet because of Jesus, because of God, because you're ethical, you have not compromised. And you want to compromise because the offer seems tempting, yet you are caught between God and that temptation. Or that temptation could be whatever sin the devil brought into your life and you got tempted. Okay, I don't know. I don't even want to ask the question. How many of you relate to that? The 4th one is unfaithfulness. Your own rejected you. It could be your friends, it could be your own people. Unfaithfulness from them. That could have hurt you. It could be your friends. It could be your loved ones. Unfaithfulness. Anyone relates to that? Let me keep my eyes open. All right. Okay, even Shamara is raising her hand. All right, unfaithfulness, yeah? And finally, God brings you to a place and he asks you, God takes the audacity to say, you know what? Those people, those guys, they hurt you, but I want you to forgive them. Anyone relates to this? You do? You do. So what do you say to God? That's too much. You're too mean. How do you want me? How do you expect me to? I'm not the one who hurt them. They are the ones who hurt me. Are you not watching? Do you think God is not watching?
He is watching.
Last week, my cousin I was interacting with, and like 2 or 3 years, I think I did not interact with him. He called me just before our meeting started one Sunday, and I said, we have prayer meeting, I'll call you later. And then after 3 days, something God was reminding me, and I just felt a little sad. Why did I do that to him? I should have just called him. And I sent him a message saying, I'm really sorry I did not call you back. I was busy. I got busy. If you're free, I'll call you now. And he said, send me one picture of him in the hospital going through surgery. And I felt so bad. And I was like, is that you? He said, yes. Can I call you now? He said, no, I'm in pain. I'll call you later. And I said, please call me. I want to pray for you. I did not meet him for a long time. I was in Dubai. He went to London. And one time when I went to Goa, it was summer and it was peak of summer. And my mom's house, we had an event, and my mom's house did not have AC. So my aunt said, I'm staying at this guy's house. He had a house which was locked, and he had AC in his house because it was a modern house he had bought. So for the AC, I went with Sean and Shamira also. And I went there. She was very small. She was a baby. Just because we did not have AC room, extra AC room where we were sleeping in my mom's house, I slept in his house. And she left her shoe, baby shoe, the booty. She left it there on his bed, which I did not realize. And I came home and I just started looking and I just felt that, oh, she lost her shoe, and that's it. Next day, this guy comes to me and says, no, few days, I was still there in Goa. He came down to Goa and he comes to me and says, this is yours. He shows me the shoe, Myra's shoe, baby shoe. And I said, oh, you found it. And then he said, you left it for me. I said, no, it just dropped. He said, my wife and me, we are trying for a baby, but it's just not happening. She had 2 miscarriages, and now she's pregnant again, and I don't know what is going to happen. So I told him, this time it will not happen. This time you will have the baby. I will be praying for you. And he said, thank you. And he went, and then he got a baby boy when he went this time. He had no more miscarriages. And so the first person he called was me, and he said, so grateful. He said, you left that shoe for me, no? I said, I did not leave that for you. God left a sign for you. And so, you see, God has a plan for you, but God also, the devil attacks you right from your youth, right from your family, because he was going through that. And then God also tries to make a way for me to be there in Goa from Dubai, and he coming to London at the same time, me sleeping in his house. Do you think it's a coincidence?
No, ma'am.
It was God's provision, okay? The devil is attacking you, but God is also making provision for you. And then he got 3 children, and then when he fell sick, God was so faithful to ask me, pray for him again. And so somehow I just got connected to him and I started praying for him. It's been a week and I'm sure he's fine now. But my question to you is, the bigger the plan God has for you, the bigger is the attack from the evil one. Somehow he will attack you and you will not even know. Sometimes people get so angry with God, not knowing the devil is attacking. God actually has a plan for you, and the devil is attacking. Okay? So, but there is a difference between Joseph's story and your story and the story of Jesus, because Joseph had a great plan from God, but it was only for 2 nations benefited, and only for a certain period of time. Only for those 7 years where they were going through famine, Joseph was used to use his intelligence and his greatness. He became the prime minister. Yes, he was great there, but only for a short period. But Jesus went through all of these, not for, it was for a shorter period, but not for blessing only 2 nations, for blessing you and me for lifelong. And whatever problem you have, whatever need you have, so you could come to him. That is why he went on the cross of Calvary, by defying all of these, went on the cross, died a death, a shameful death, took a crown of thorns on his head, took the shame upon himself, took the stripes upon himself, and said, released forgiveness on earth, shed his precious blood, and cleansed the ground that God had once cursed. Why? Why would he leave his throne and come, the Son of God, come on earth and do it and go through all of this, which he does not even have to go through, so that you and I are not the devil's target. He may make us his target, but we cannot. If you are alert and if you will walk, the passage that Kanan read, it says, if you will continue in your faith, if you will continue to believe him, if you will, the book of Revelation says, we will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. If we plead the blood of Jesus over our circumstances, and if we speak the word of God, saying, I know Jesus, I know he's the Son of God, he died and he rose again, he shed his precious blood for me, he paid a ransom for me, he has exchanged me, he has chosen me, he has a great plan for me, he will help me, you will not fail. And that's the difference between Joseph going through all this Of course, Joseph also was a blessing to many, but Jesus, blessing to everyone, to those who believe. The more Satan knows that God has a plan for you, the more you will be attacked, but not anymore. This is your portion. Jesus has won your battle on the cross of Calvary. You are no more a victim of your circumstances. You cannot accept defeat. You cannot accept failure. You cannot accept depression. You cannot accept sickness. You cannot accept poverty. You cannot accept lack, because now your eyes are opened by the Holy Spirit, saying Jesus has died on the cross. He has paid a price. He has taken the shame upon himself. He has taken the thirst upon himself, the lack upon himself. So you don't have to go through it, only if you believe. And I know, I'm quite sure, each one of you present here, you are here. Nobody will come to me for prayer unless they have a great plan. Each one of you, God has a great plan for you. Will you fight?
Yes.
Will you be faithful to Jesus? Will you trust him?
Yes.
Or will you be like Thomas saying, no, I don't want to believe?
Trust him.
Before even your plan is manifested, before even your greatest miracle is manifested, before that dream is manifested, you say, I had dreams, but I just gave up, because those days I was dreaming, nothing happened, so I gave up. Or will you say, you know what? I will look to the cross. I will trust Jesus. Nobody can bury my dream. I will raise it up through Jesus. My dream is alive. My dream will come true. Joseph had a dream. Who made it come true? God made it come true. Now you'll say, what is God's plan for me? That great dream that you have. And I cannot say this to the outside people, but I know I've taken permission from Jesus to speak to you. That great dream that you have in your heart has been put by God, and that is your plan. That is God's plan for you. I don't know how many of you have a great dream. I do have a great dream.
I have it.
And I know that that dream has been put by God inside of me. And I know that great dream that you are now thinking of, the Holy Spirit will help you, has been put inside of you by God. Is it possible to, like in your physical eyes, if you look at your circumstances, if you look at yourself, it does not look like that dream can come true. Anybody there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But it is challenging time for you, the challenge time for you. It's a trusting, the faith challenge now. The dream is quite bigger than you, and you need to look at the cross, what has been done for you. You need to know that you're chosen. You need to know that Satan was defeated by Jesus. That you went through this, but yours will not be as long as Joseph. The delay will not be so long. If you will continue in faith and press on in faith and trust Jesus and declare and claim his precious blood upon yourself, upon everything concerning you, and declare that Jesus will help you, you will see that dream come true. Okay, we're going to do one exercise. We're going to tear a paper. We're going to take a pencil. We are already given pens and paper and pencils. You're going to write your dream. And like last time, you don't have to show your neighbor. And I'm going to write it myself. And we're going to show it to God. And we're going to show it to the Holy Spirit. And we're going to ask Jesus that if this is his plan to make it come true, your channel is, listen everybody, 1 minute's time. Your channel for that great dream is Jesus. Without Jesus, you will not see that great dream accomplished, at least according to me. I know my great dream, I will not be accomplished if Jesus is not there with me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know you guys will have a dream, but my suggestion to you, without Jesus, you may not be able to accomplish that big dream, because the dream is bigger than you. However, that big dream has been put by God inside of you. And today we are going to write and we're going to show it to the Holy Spirit.